What's one way to manage fast chord changes in fast songs, right? So let's take a look. So for example, if I was playing a song like this, if I was going between A, D and A and E really quick that way, and let's just say it was a problem. Well, the first thing to look at is to zoom out and to go, look at the tempo of the whole song. Because here's a flip. I was working with somebody lately and they were having a problem going between two chords and they were saying, this is causing me problems. And I was a bit confused because the week before their chord change was nearly there with it. And then they were saying that it didn't seem to be working at all. And this is a common thing that happens a ton of players. It's that we get into playing a song and we start playing it faster than the original song goes. And what happened was they'd practiced and the easier types of chords in the song, they began to go faster, but it made the chord change that much more difficult in the song. And that's one thing to watch out for. Whatever songs you're working on, check in. Are you going faster than the song is meant to go in the first place, which would cause chords to be even more of a problem? And then if you're not, if you're still keeping it a nice steady tempo, just check in. Is it possible for you to lower the tempo of the whole song to get the chord progressions working together? So for example, instead of this, if I went at this tempo, sure, it's so slow. It's really slow. But there was no chord change that held everything up. The whole thing chugged along. And when you do it at that tempo, then you can raise the tempo bit by bit and speed it all up together. And of course, the cheat code then to this is if you're to look at the chords and you went, but Dave, like A minor to F is the problem. Then the answer to that is it's to take your A minor and F, drill the change. You'd be amazed at like the answers this gives and the solutions this provides to only drill your chord changes in a song. At the end of the day, no matter what song you'll ever learn on guitar, if it has chords, those chord shapes will need to be known. You'll need to be able to change quickly between the chord shapes. And to do that, you'll need to drill the change. And is there a day that comes on guitar that your fingers suddenly can like get more chord shapes easier and faster? Yeah, 100%. There is a day where it just seems like your fingers can do whatever new chord shape that you see. And that's brilliant. There's no exact date on that day. It's a bit of a mysterious thing about learning guitar. But before that day, you got to drill stuff. And by the way, I still drill stuff. Like I was drilling something lately going, you know, like drilling is still the answer to a lot of the stuff, right? So that would be the thing. You take the whole thing slower if you need to. And then if that isn't working, if you know deep down that you need to take out a chord change, take it out. You drill it by doing one down on it, then one down on the other. If you're hitting a wall, like on average, I would say aim for 12 to 15 changes in a minute for a chord change for it to be usable in a lot of songs. 12 is pretty good to get things going, right? Because you can lower the tempo of the song. And then if you're still having problems, then sometimes it can be down to the finger placement that you're choosing between your chords. And in that case, then it is worth asking for help, right? And to do that, one of the best ways I've seen is to make a post inside the community, be specific, okay? Option 1 is too vague. My chord changes are slow. No one will know what chords you're talking about. My A minor to D minor is hard. I find it tricky. My ring finger seems to be the problem. Whatever finger goes on last. The more specific you can be, as much as you can be, the better the answer and the more laser focused the help will be. All right, so that's what to do if you're finding changes tricky in a song. And of course, you got to act on guitar like to maximize your practice time. So strumming a ton of the chords, like for example, it's happened before, you know, the bridge of a song generally happens later on in the song, after a chorus and a verse or two. And if that contains a tricky chord and you spend all your time strumming chords all the way up to this point, that's the real problem. that's where the work needs to be done. That's where the time, the discipline, the focus and the effort will pay off the highest for you. And that's also why some guitarists practice 20 minutes a day and make serious gains, and others might be playing 2 hours a day and mightn't make the gains they want. And it's because they're focusing on different stuff or stuff that doesn't need to be improved. And of course, I'm all on for fun on guitar. It's fun first, but laser focus on the areas that need it if you want to be seeing progress as well, to keep the fun going. All right, so I'll see you for the next video after this.